Stop right there. This isn't for everyone. If you're comfortable living the same life day after day, feeling like you're not quite where you want to be, if you're okay with being average, then shut off this video. Go back to your regular life, lock your doors, and stay where you are. But if you're done with the excuses, done with letting life happen to you, if you're ready to step up, evolve, and unlock the full power of your mind, then keep watching. I've been where you are. I've struggled with the same doubts, the same habits that hold you back. I was stuck in the daily grind, thinking things weren't going to change. But one thing I realized through the teachings of Stoicism was this: you need to stop doing the things that keep you trapped in mediocrity. So, ask yourself this: do you really want to be your best self? Do you want to push your limits and become the person you were meant to be? Or would you rather sit back and complain about how life's not going your way? The choice is yours. But remember, you can't do both. Here's the hard truth. Stoicism is about mastering yourself, and it starts with what you're willing to stop doing. If you're not willing to change, then you can turn off the video right now. But if you are, then get ready to confront the habits you need to leave behind to become the best version of yourself. Let's dive in. Number 1, avoiding responsibility for your life. We've all heard it before. It's not my fault. It's a familiar excuse we've probably all used at some point. But if we're being honest with ourselves, we know it's just a way of deflecting responsibility. I know because I used to do it too, blaming my circumstances, my past, other people, anything I could. It felt easier, right? But here's the hard truth. No one is coming to save you. No one else will take responsibility for your life. This is a core principle of Stoic philosophy. We are responsible for how we respond to life, regardless of the circumstances we face. Life will throw challenges at us, but our reactions, our mindset, and our decisions are entirely within our control. The moment I stopped blaming the world around me for my problems and accepted that I alone had the power to shape my reality, everything began to change. It's easy to point fingers. Trust me, I've done it countless times, but the real power lies in taking ownership of your life. When you do, you unlock a level of growth and fulfillment you can't achieve any other way. The more you take responsibility for your actions, the more you grow. You will never be able to reach your full potential if you keep passing the blame. It may seem tough at first, but it's the only way to become the best version of yourself. Taking control of your life is the first step to truly becoming who you're meant to be. Number 2, letting emotions control you. I'll be the first to admit, emotions are intense. They have the power to uplift us, to destroy us, to make us feel alive or completely drained. Anger, sadness, frustration, they all feel so real in the moment, so hard to ignore. But here's where Stoicism can change your entire approach. Stoics don't let emotions dictate their actions. Instead, they learn to control them. For a long time, I thought emotions were something I had to give into. I let anger, frustration, and fear make decisions for me. I reacted instead of responding. I'd snap at people, blow up over small things, or hold on to grudges that drained my energy. But over time, I realized that emotions, while natural, can be a weakness if we allow them to take over our behavior. It wasn't easy to change, but when I started practicing detachment, learning to pause and reflect before reacting, I started to regain control. It doesn't mean becoming emotionless, far from it. You're still going to feel deeply. That's what makes us human. But the key is in choosing how to respond, not letting the emotion overwhelm you. Think about it. Do you want to be ruled by your emotions, or do you want to rise above them and control your actions? Number 3, seeking instant gratification. We live in an age of instant everything. Fast food, instant messaging, constant notifications, dopamine hits are just a click away. But Stoics understand that true fulfillment doesn't come from seeking out quick fixes. They embrace the idea of delayed gratification, putting in the hard work now, resisting the urge for immediate rewards, and trusting that long-term rewards will follow. I used to be someone who constantly sought the next thrill. I'd rush from one pleasure to the next, whether it was social media, food, or entertainment. I was always looking for the quick fix, the instant reward. But I soon realized this kind of thinking leads nowhere. It doesn't lead to growth. It doesn't lead to real success. When I embraced Stoic principles, I shifted my focus from short-term pleasure to long-term fulfillment. Real satisfaction comes from building something meaningful, from putting in the effort, and from embracing discipline. Ask yourself this: what matters more to you, the temporary pleasure of today or the deep satisfaction of achieving something lasting tomorrow? Number 4, fear of failure. Let's face it, failure is scary. It's the thing that stops so many people in their tracks. The fear of failing, of making mistakes, of looking foolish. I know because I've been there too. For years, I let this fear paralyze me. I was so terrified of failure that I didn't even try. I stayed in my comfort zone, convincing myself it was safer not to take risks. But here's what the Stoics teach us. Failure is not the end. It's the beginning of growth. It's a lesson, not a punishment. You can't succeed if you're not willing to fail. Every time you fall, you learn something valuable that brings you closer to success. The truth is, avoiding failure only leads to stagnation. If you never try, you'll never know what you're capable of. The fear of failure is worse than the failure itself, so don't run from it. Embrace it as a powerful tool for personal growth. When I started seeing failure as a stepping stone rather than a setback, I began to grow in ways I never imagined. You can't get better without taking risks, and you can't grow if you're afraid to fail. Number 5, wasting time on things you can't control. I can't even count how many hours I used to waste stressing over things that were completely out of my control. I'd obsess over the opinions of others, the state of the economy, the weather, or things from my past that I couldn't change. It was exhausting and ultimately futile. The Stoics teach us to focus only on what's within our control. Your thoughts, your actions, your responses. That's what you have power over. When I started focusing on these aspects, I realized how much time I'd been wasting on things outside my influence. Time is your most precious resource. Once it's gone, you can't get it back. Stop wasting it on things you can't control. Instead, use it to improve yourself, to work on your goals, and to respond wisely to life's challenges. If you don't, you'll find yourself stuck in an endless loop of frustration, feeling like you're not moving forward. When you focus only on what you can control, you unlock the ability to move forward and make meaningful progress. Number 6, complaining about circumstances. Complaining is an easy habit to fall into. It's comfortable, almost automatic, and often feels like it gives us a sense of control over our situation. I used to think that if I complained enough, something would change, that somehow the universe would step in and fix things for me. But here's the harsh truth. Complaining gets you nowhere. Stoicism teaches us that our circumstances don't define us. Our response to them does. Life will throw curveballs, but it's how we handle them that shapes our character. Complaining is a waste of energy. If you're not willing to take action to improve your situation, then stop complaining. Accept it for what it is, or make a change. Complaining only keeps you stuck in a cycle of negativity, while taking proactive steps moves you closer to a solution. I realized that the more I complained, the more I let life happen to me, rather than taking control of it. Stop waiting for external circumstances to change. You are the one who can change your situation through your mindset and your actions. So when faced with adversity, don't waste time complaining. Choose to act and rise above your circumstances. Number 7, surrounding yourself with negative people. You've probably heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. It's true. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, people who complain, criticize, and never take responsibility, then that negativity will seep into your own life. I've been there, and I can tell you from experience, negativity is contagious. It pulls you down, and it keeps you stuck. But the Stoics knew this truth. The right people can elevate you. They encourage you to surround yourself with individuals who inspire, challenge, and push you to grow. If you want to become your best self, you need to be around people who embody the qualities you want to develop. You can't expect to rise above mediocrity when you're constantly pulled down by toxic relationships. I had to learn the hard way that being around the wrong people would keep me stuck. It's okay to outgrow relationships that no longer serve you. If you don't have the right people in your life, it's time to find them. Or, if that's not possible, get comfortable being alone until you do. Choose people who inspire you to become better, not those who keep you in a place of complacency. Number 8, playing the victim. The victim mindset is a trap. It's a false sense of security that makes you believe the world owes you something. But I'll tell you right now, the world doesn't owe you anything. Life doesn't owe you anything. When you fall into the habit of playing the victim, you relinquish your power. You let external circumstances control your emotions and actions. You give away your ability to shape your own life. I've seen it in myself and others. The more we play the victim, the more we stay stuck in a cycle of self-pity and helplessness. Victimhood keeps you from taking responsibility, from growing, and from becoming your best self. The moment I stopped seeing myself as a victim and started taking ownership of my life, everything changed. If you want to break free from that trap, take full responsibility for your actions, decisions, and mindset. The Stoics knew that personal power comes from control over oneself, not from blaming others for your circumstances. Once you stop playing the victim, you start changing the game. Number 9, seeking approval from others. For years, I was obsessed with what others thought of me. I'd change my behavior, my opinions, even my values, just to fit in or be accepted. I thought if people liked me, I'd feel better about myself. But here's the truth. No one else is living your life. The only person whose opinion truly matters is your own. Stoicism teaches us to cultivate self-worth from within. Stop seeking approval from others and start building confidence in who you are. When I stopped chasing validation from people, I started living authentically. I realized that when I'm true to myself, I attract the right people into my life. Living for other people's approval only keeps you stuck in a cycle of insecurity. You are the one who gets to decide who you are and what you stand for. Don't let the opinions of others shape your identity. Focus on cultivating your own values and self-worth. When you stop seeking approval from others, you can finally live life on your own terms. Number 10, clinging to the past. We all have regrets. We've made mistakes, missed opportunities, and done things we wish we could undo. But the past is gone, and no amount of dwelling on it will change a thing. I spent years holding on to past mistakes, regrets, and things I couldn't control. I thought about what could have been instead of focusing on what is. The Stoics teach us that the only moment that truly matters is now. You can't change the past, but you can choose how you respond to it. Stop dragging your past with you everywhere you go. It will weigh you down and prevent you from living fully in the present. When I stopped holding on to my past, I began to feel lighter, more focused, and more free. It's time to let go of your past mistakes, regrets, and missed opportunities. Learn from them, but don't live in them. What matters is what you now. This moment is where your power lies. Number 11, being afraid of change. Change is one of the few things in life that's guaranteed, but for some reason we fear it. I used to fear change so much that I resisted it at every turn. I thought change meant uncertainty, discomfort, and loss. But here's the secret. Change is not your enemy, it's your opportunity. Stoicism teaches that change is the gateway to growth. Without change, we stagnate. Without change, we stay stuck in the same place, unable to evolve. I realized that when I embraced change, it opened up new possibilities, new opportunities, and new ways of becoming the person I wanted to be. Don't fear change. Welcome it. See it for what it truly is, an opportunity to reinvent yourself, to step into a new version of who you are meant to become. Change is where your best self lives. When you stop fearing it, you unlock your true potential. Listen, if you're not willing to stop these habits, then don't expect to grow. It's that simple. But if you are ready to rise above, to transform, and to unlock your best self, then it's time to leave behind the things that hold you back. You don't have to settle for the average life, but you do have to choose to change. So ask yourself, will you take action or stay where you are? Will you become your best self or keep making excuses? The decision is yours.